What would you do if you bought your dream home, and then someone started watching you? Not just watching, but sending detailed, threatening letters describing your children, your habits, and the history of your home, and calling themselves the Watcher. In 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus bought a beautiful 6-bedroom home at 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey. It was an old but elegant house in an upscale, quiet neighborhood. They were a young, successful couple, excited to move in with their 3 children. But before they even unpacked a single box, the first letter arrived. It was typed, formal, and addressed simply to the new owner. The writer congratulated them on buying the home, but then said they had been watching 657 Boulevard for decades. The letter claimed the house had been the subject of my family for generations and asked, "Why are you here?" "I will find out." At first, Derek and Maria were confused, even amused. But the next letter wasn't funny. The writer began mentioning their children by nickname and described them playing in the yard. "I see already that you have flooded 657 Boulevard with young blood," it said. "Have you found out what's in the walls yet?" Another line read, "Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested?" It only got worse. More letters followed. The Watcher began referencing past owners, architectural details of the house, and events only someone nearby, or someone inside, could have known. The writer said they were one in a line of watchers assigned to protect the home, watching it from afar and sometimes up close. 657 Boulevard is my job, my life, my obsession, one letter read. The Broaddus family never moved in. They were terrified. They installed cameras, hired private investigators, even contacted former FBI agents. No one could identify the Watcher. Police investigated neighbors, mail carriers, even ran DNA tests on the envelopes. Nothing. Suspicion fell on everyone and no one. A family next door was odd. A man behind them was reclusive, but there was no proof, no arrest, just silence and more letters. Eventually, unable to sell the house and unwilling to live in it, the Broadduses rented it out while still receiving messages. Years passed. The Watcher remained anonymous. In 2019, the house was finally sold, at a loss. No new letters have been made public since. To this day, no one knows who wrote those letters. Some believe it was a cruel prank. Others think it was someone with a real, dangerous obsession. What's most disturbing is the possibility that the Watcher might not be gone at all. Just waiting. Watching. Would you move into a house if someone told you they were already inside? Just waiting for your children? In the early 1800s, on a quiet farm in Tennessee, a family was torn apart by something they couldn't see, something they couldn't explain, and something that would come to be known as one of the most terrifying hauntings in American history. It began with whispers. The Bell family, led by John Bell, lived a peaceful life in Robertson County. They were respected, prosperous, and faithful. But one evening in 1817, John spotted something unusual in his cornfield, an animal with the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. He shot at it, but it vanished without a trace. That night, strange knocking sounds began on the walls of their log house. Then came the scratching, the faint sound of something clawing at the wood from the inside. At first, they thought it might be rats or snakes, but the sounds grew louder. Furniture moved on its own. Blankets were ripped off sleeping children. The youngest daughter, Betsy, began to wake up with bruises, claiming something invisible was pulling her hair and slapping her across the face. And then it started to speak. A voice, first just a whisper, slowly became clear. It would recite hymns, quote the Bible, mimic voices of family members. And then it got cruel. It cursed the family, mocked them, and threatened John Bell. It claimed it was the spirit of Kate Batts, a woman who had once argued with John over a land deal. Locals started calling it Kate, or more famously, the Bell Witch. Word of the haunting spread fast. Neighbors came to witness the events, and many of them left terrified. Even General Andrew Jackson, future President of the United States, came to the Bell farm to see the phenomena for himself. According to accounts, as his wagon approached the property, the horses froze in place, the wheels locked, and then a voice said, "You may enter, but you will never leave." Jackson reportedly turned around and left by morning. The spirit's focus returned to John Bell, whose health began to deteriorate. He developed a trembling in his jaw, then seizures. The entity often told visitors it planned to kill him. On December 20th, 1820, John Bell died. His family claimed that a small vial of dark liquid was found near his deathbed. When they gave a drop to the family cat, it died instantly. The witch laughed. "I gave old Jack a big dose of that last night," she said. "Fixed him good." After John's death, the spirit seemed to lose interest. It told the family it would return in 7 years. In 1828, it came back briefly, as promised, and then vanished again. Some say it never left. The land where the Bell House once stood is still there, and the Bell Witch Cave nearby has become a place of legend. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and experiencing sudden cold spots. Even today, locals warn against mocking the Bell Witch. Letters are still sent to the town apologizing to her, claiming their lives were cursed after disrespecting the legend. More than 2 centuries later, no one has ever fully explained what haunted the Bell family. Was it revenge from beyond the grave? A case of mass hysteria? Or something darker that still lingers in the hills of Tennessee, waiting for someone to listen again? Whatever it was, it remains one of the only hauntings in American history where a spirit is said to have caused a man's death. And that makes the Bell Witch not just a ghost story, but a murder case that still echoes through time.